Hi, this is Wishop, and this is your full moon reading for the full moon in Sagittarius of June 9th. So, astrologically, what I want to say about this time period is that all the personal planets are changing signs. And importantly, Venus is moving into Taurus, which she will do tomorrow. And Mercury is moving into Gemini, which are their home signs. And part of what that does is make them feel very comfortable, which is great, but then they can also feel very assertive. With the sun still in Gemini, that can lead to a sense of wanting to talk a lot about what you're doing and about what you're passionate about. And chances are you're into something new, which could be a new relationship, new health regime, new job, new enterprise, something like that. But I would just say this month might be a little premature to share that outside your closest circle. Your near and dear, which can include the new partner you're with, will appreciate the attention. And now is a great time if you're working on a project to woodshed with it. Really invest yourself in making it great. Do that planning, do that tweaking, get your hands dirty with it. This is a time that's going to be super well aspected for that. Also, I want to mention Jupiter is turning direct on June 9th. So it gets expansive again in Libra. And then Neptune is going retrograde on June 16th, which is another reason why I'm sort of, maybe cautioning is too strong a word, but I'm saying consider what you want to share with people. Because right now in June, we have a lot of social activities like weddings and graduations. And these are the kinds of events where people get together if they've met or haven't seen each other in a while and say, oh, what are you doing? What's your life like? What's your story? All these kinds of things. And you might feel, because of the expansiveness of Jupiter and the assertiveness of the personal planets, that you need to oversell something that you're newly involved in. Or because with the full moon in Sagittarius and Jupiter going direct in Libra, it can take the aspects of Jupiter into a judgmental place, a place of over-righteousness. So it could be that you're feeling judgmental of other people, or they're feeling the need to judge you. And that might not be welcome at all either. That might be exactly what you don't need, especially if you're taking a new love to a family wedding, let's say, or you're trying to talk to somebody about your new business idea. So this will be a month to really be clear about the context of the conversations you're having, meaning that if you want to talk about your business enterprise or your entrepreneurship or this kind of thing, find a networking group where everybody wants to talk about that, and then it'll be totally appropriate and welcome. If you're at social events, keep them social. If it starts getting outside social, or you're not having a good time, or you're feeling like you might get into a hassle with somebody, it's a good time to bail on that event. Another thing with this Neptune retrograde that just seems to me as a possibility, if you were, for example, in an argument with somebody, you could end up pulling deep from your subconscious, like something so secret that you didn't even really know you knew, or something from years ago, and really sort of the equivalent of taking a Sherman tank to a fist fight. You could come out with something so huge that really is more than what you meant to do. And other people could do that too. That being said, as a caution, this is a fantastic month for investigating. If you're trying to figure out the root of a health problem, an employment issue, something going on in your home, this is going to be a great time to get down to the real nitty-gritty of it. And the last thing I want to say, because I know I've almost spent 5 minutes on this, but it's kind of packed, is that July 8th will be the full moon in Capricorn. that is going to be a beautiful time for all of this work you've done in whatever area of your life you're really focused, wherever your heart's desire is at. July 8th will be a great time to bring that out to the world. So it's not like you need to keep this stuff under wraps for a long time, but this is a great time to be thinking about working, bulletproofing, strategizing, planning, getting your hands dirty, and channeling all that good energy into productive places. And when things start feeling unproductive, to sort of bail out of those arenas and get into something that feels better. So I was led to use the oracle cards this time, all oracle cards. So we have the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle, which is by Cheryl Yambrach Rose. And let's turn this over here. Okay. We also have the Past Life Oracle, which is Doreen Virtue and Brian L. Weiss. Oh, Persecution and Inquisition. And we have the Enchanted Map Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. So let's flip this over. Okay, and see where the story is. And it's goblins in reverse. So let me get the goblins card for you just to read you the reverse. Straight up, Goblin says, fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself another. Reversed. It's often difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. No one is perfect, but in this case, you're vulnerable to being manipulated. Don't take this world personally. When the Goblin's card arrives reversed, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from an old wound. Love yourself unconditionally. Set boundaries and your goblins will fall asleep. Love is the only answer. Which is hilarious because it's kind of what I'm talking about. I guess I don't need to talk about the astrology. I should just get into the cards. The cards are just another way to tap into the weather, right? What's in the air? Persecution and inquisition, of course, in a past life, could be talking about one thing, but where I'm using it as a current oracle, this is the idea that we have the inquisition, right? The tough interview, the tough asking for results. Let me see if I don't think I can really get the glare off this card. But, oh, there we go. But also you could feel persecuted if someone gives you what we would call the third degree over something new in your life that you're working with. And because there might be a tendency to oversell right now, it's much better to put your energies into making things real, into testing the different approaches so that when you present it, maybe in early July, if that's possible, you can really feel solid about it. And then if people ask hard questions, you will have the answers and you won't feel persecuted. You'll feel very solid and secure in your place. You'll feel rock solid, in fact. So, but I think this is that same idea. And you may also find yourself feeling like, because the energies are this way sort of for everybody, if you find yourself in a social group that's challenging for you, you may feel yourself to have less patience with it, and you might go into maybe like a hyper judgmental mode or like an interrogator mode where you're really trying to, I don't know, even get somebody to confess the truth of a situation, because this Neptune retrograde, it is going to bring up potentially deep secrets, and Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter, wants truth, wants things which are fair. Jupiter is in Libra, which is going to amplify that feeling of fair dealings between people. So if there's something that you become aware of or just feel very fired up about that doesn't feel fair in relationships you've been in or between people or in situations you see around you, this personal push and the personal changes you've made may cause you to push outward into the world and to feel like, I need to pass a judgment on this, that, and the other. And it's not that you're wrong. It just may be not the best time to do it, or you may have not figured out the best approach to doing it. And some of these secrets may feel like they're burning a hole in you, but they won't. They really won't if you channel your energy into things that are about, like Venus and Taurus, about what you love. So when in doubt, turn back to what you love, turn back to keeping things close to home. Really make that the place where you're doing your expression and your work. And there's going to come a time when this stuff can make a really great launch or debut. And we know that because we have the starseed children, and it says, have hope for the future. New energies are coming in. This is a time where if you see things, and maybe you're seeing them for the first time, or maybe it's just striking you how important they are, and you've come to a new sense of yourself, you're liable to feel very good in your own skin right now, and that's terrific. Like you're going to feel like you're wearing your favorite comfy clothes on your favorite couch, and it's about watching what you want and doing what you want. I would say, enjoy those feelings close to home. Let yourself have that so that you don't feel so restricted, because when you go out into the world just for a few weeks, you might feel like, it's not fitting your new sense of you. It's not fitting your new sense of what you want. And that could be in family situations, associations, work, all kinds of areas. It just is feeling like a mismatch, and you think, is this ever going to get any better? If I don't do something now, is it ever going to get better? It is actually going to get better, and you're going to be the one to change it. But you're going to change it when you're in a more calm and dispassionate frame of mind, if that makes any sense. So let me just read you a little bit about the starseed children. Oh, if I can find it. Okay. Nurture the star child. Provide what is needed for the work. This bright being may be within your core family or within yourself. So the idea is that, if you're familiar with the concept of starseed children, is that they incarnate to help deal with issues in an innovative way. So the idea is that they have a sense of purpose, things that they're brought forward to do. And they're also thought to be gifted, not only psychically, but also in the arts and sciences. So this to me really does relate to that idea that you're going to have, it could be artistic endeavors, it could be relationships, it could be projects at home, projects on yourself, it could be new enterprises. But what you're doing now is really working on them, just working on them, and just keeping it a little bit under your hat just for now, just for a little while, because you are going to have some beautiful results to share with everybody in the world, and to share with a great sense of pride and confidence in just about a month. So, and that doesn't even seem that long, depending on what kind of project it is. So I imagine that you, and I hope I too, will be very productive during this time. But this is a month for woodshedding, right? As they say among musicians, just getting off in the woodshed and working out your issue, practicing, just refining, just getting it where you want it. And I think you'll do it now. And if you do it now, you can avoid the sense of persecution and inquisition, and you ought to be able to take the most advantage of the new energies. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. Do check the description box below for the shadow cards. That's where I always put them. And thank you very much for viewing and for liking and subscribing and commenting, of course. Have a great one and rock on.